Okay, what's up, guys? What Culture Wrestling has uploaded 10 things WWE wants you to forget about 2016. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think, and I'm like, maybe if I seen some things, then probably was like, okay, and then it might start ringing some bells in my head. But I don't know. Like, I can't really think of anything. I don't know. Yeah, I can't think. I really can't think of anything. Maybe I know, of course, some matches, of course, but yeah. There's a lot. I mean, but there's just 2016 was a hectic year. I'm just gonna throw that out there. 2016 was a hectic year, and WWE, they had some things that went down in the W. Or I know it was like when Paige and Alberto Del Rio, they got fired. There's like they going on like some love journey or something. Like, well, I wonder what's up with them. Like, is she coming back to WWE or did she quit? Or because I know he got fired, and so I don't know her situation is maybe them like fell in the wellness program. I think she felt that program like twice. That's why nobody hasn't. If you've been wondering where she been, yeah, she felt that like this wellness program thing. So yeah, she and if you guys don't know what that is, then it's like it's a program that they established after the whole Chris Benoit accident. And if you don't know who he is, you must have been watching WWE like for, I don't know, after that when nobody wasn't really talking about it. I don't know, but anyways, yeah, let's see what culture, what they're gonna have to bring up. But make sure you go subscribe to them. They actually have, I just seen on the side, they have What Culture Wrestling and then What Culture. So yeah, they making moves. So, but anyways, let's check this video out. I messed up. I want to unpause it. There we go. Turn it down a little bit.
Just a few more weeks and 2016 will be over. One little Christmas and in a celebrity massacring, status quo upending, Harambe murdering year will be behind us. Regardless of your politics, 2016 has objectively been a slow motion dick punch of a year. With the loss of Alan Rickman, Prince and David Bowie, the world is 65% less sexy than it used to be. And in the wrestling world, we've lost China, Mahoney, Axel Rotten, Blackjack Mulligan, Mr. Fuji, Chris Travers, to name but a few. However, compared to 2015, WWE itself has fared slightly better, with none of its top stars getting caught on tape saying racist things, pictures of their dick leaked online. But whether it's been duff storylines or PR blunders, it's been far from a perfect year for Sweaty Vincent's muscle contingent. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and here are 10 things WWE want you to forget about 2016.
Let me just pause. I remember when they had, because somebody else, I think it was Prince, he was, because when he died, I think a couple of days after China. And I remember when I was reading online that China had passed, I was like, dang. Like, it just, I don't know, like, when you hear, like, a wrestler like me, I think so far, I don't know, like, there were maybe, like, 4 wrestlers I think I didn't remember that I, like, really remember that passed away and things. But maybe not 4, maybe more than that. But, yeah, it's just when she passed, though, I was like, dang. Like, I mean, after wrestling, times was getting hard for her and things. Like, I think they said she was doing pornos. I remember I seen her on a Judge show. Was it Judge Judy or was it something? I don't know. I don't think it was Judge Judy. I just remember she was on a Judge show. And it was like some dog situation and then I don't know what she was doing after that. But they said she was really out of it her last few days. So rest in peace, China. She will forever be missed. She really did change, like, women's wrestling. Like, honestly, I wish I was watching. I wish I was just born, like, before the 90s, so I could have been old enough to remember wrestling and things and so on. Like, I wish I was, like, my age now, but in the beginning of the 90s, so I could have just seen how wrestling unfolded out and stuff. But yeah, she definitely had, like, a part of wrestling that nobody will ever forget. So anyways, moving on.
Charles Robinson gets overexcited. Unless something truly wonder stupid happens at TLC or Roadblock, this will go down as the worst finish of the year by a country mile. Rewind the clocks to Payback, and Charlotte faced Natalya in a match with a special stipulation being the presence of 2 old dudes in their bedtime. Wait a minute, one of those dudes is Bret Hart. That can only mean one thing. Time to ring the hack retread of the Montreal screwjob alarm. Yes, once again, just because he was there, the company said, hey Bret, remember that time we lied to you after 13 years of service and killed your passion for the wrestling business. Rufflecopter. Charlotte knocked Natty in a sharpshooter, and before she could submit, Charles Robinson rang the bell. Oh, Charlie, you little tinker. What are you like? Well, still harboring a raging lob-on for Ric Flair after all these years, apparently. Number 9, the old day. WWE have aired a lot of bad
okay. Alright, so I feel like I know what they're talking about, but definitely this would be one thing I would want them to forget. This is something that I would want to forget about. Because the way Charlotte went in on Ric Flair, like, I'm like, that's your father. Like, you can't, if it wasn't for him, there wouldn't have been no you. So it's like, it's, you know, when they make it seem like that they, you know, they've always had a passion for wrestling, they would have always been the best. It's like, no, if it wasn't for your dad, you wouldn't have existed. So it's like you could have failed into anything. You know, you might have been a wrestler, but who knows? You could have been one of those wrestlers that just gets beat down by like some main star wrestler or something. So yeah, that was just, it was messed up, the things that she said about him and said to him and stuff. And it's like, yeah, you have every reason to lose a title, any of that stuff, because it was wrong. It was wrong to me. Maybe to others, they was just like, dude, it was fake. But no, it's like, even if it was fake, stuff like that shouldn't have been said. Like, every time with like that, you know, family rivalry stuff, I remember when with you know, Charlotte and Ric Flair, the Hardy brothers, Brie and Nikki Bella and stuff like that, family rivalries and things, like, they just go a little bit too far in them.
This year, just off the top of my head, the Make Darren Young Great Again skits were masterpieces of awkward old men shouting. Kalisto managed to encapsulate an entire culture of wrestling as lucha things and then ran away, and I straight up don't know what they did to poor Kurt Hawkins, but it's a shame. The worst of the bunch, though, has to be the old day. What happened when Anderson and Gallows pretending to be the New Day, and
so I thought they were talking about the Charlotte and Ric Flair thing. Never mind that.
Next aged the audience by about 60 years. If you show that segment to a toddler, it would shake its head, whisper, "I'm so tired," and light up a Marlboro Red. It made the champs look bad, and it further cemented how atrociously WWE has handled the club, one of the hottest tag teams in New Japan in 2015. Do you remember? Number 8, the Ambrose Asylum match. For Chris Jericho, 2016 has been the year of tat, where he slowly and systematically got over his gimmicks, just a bunch of stuff he had lying around his house. He's feuded over a jacket, a scarf, a houseplant, a clipboard. Next year he'll get over a stapler, an iPad, and a lawn chair, because he can. Considering the junk preoccupied him this year, it made sense to put him in a match with fellow prop comic Dean Hot Dog Car Ambrose in the Ambrose Asylum match, aka a cage match with bric-a-brac. It could have been good, and it's not often you see a thumbtack spot, so fair play to that, but it was a fairly terrible, sluggish affair, with the crowd audibly bored throughout. It's one of the biggest disappointments of the year.
I remember that match. I didn't watch it, but I did remember when they were promoting that match.
Don't expect to see a sequel. Number 7, letting Cody Rhodes escape. How often can you tell your boss, yeah, well, I don't need this job, and actually mean it? God knows I can't. Please never stop watching these videos. Well, Cody Rhodes did exactly that, requesting his release back in May. Going on to have the
he's in TNA, I think.
He's currently our internet champion. Honest, after finally ditching the Stardust gimmick that he hated, Cody's seen his value skyrocket, wrestling a series of matches against Kurt Angle, wrestling in Evolve, TNA, Ring of Honor. He's got dates with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Not only has he shown to a generation of talent that you don't have to be shackled to the WWE machine to get ahead, but he's also been fairly outspoken against the company in his absence, revealing his reasons for putting in an open letter. After Rhodes left, Ryback walked away, as did Alberto Del Rio, further proof that WWE isn't the be-all and end-all for wrestlers, a lesson WWE is anxious for their stars to forget. Number 6, Titus grabs Vince. Well, now this is really...
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking in my head, because I remember that. It was when he retired, and then Vince came out, and then they were walking back. And he just, like, I don't know, like, he grabbed him, they got upset about that, and it was like, dang, dude, like, they suspended him, and I'm like, are they serious? Like, I guess if you look back at it, you gotta be the judge. Like me, I just saw, like, when I seen him grab him, I was just like, I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, oh, okay, you know, it's just friends being friends, but... when they did that, I was just like, dang, they suspended him over that? Like, I seen it, but I'm like, I didn't think anything of it. Like, that was crazy, though.
What will almost definitely be the company's promo of the year. However, as a bizarre little coda to that story, shortly following that Raw, the news broke that Titus O'Neil had been suspended for 60 days. Why? Well, shortly after the cameras went off the air for that Raw, Vince made to leave the ramp when Titus O'Neil grabbed his arm. Vince responded by shoving Titus hard. Fan footage showed that the two men might have been smiling. Then apparently Titus was being chivalrous, telling Vince to let Stephanie go first, or it could have been horseplay getting out of hand. But then it was announced that Titus had been suspended for 90 days and that Jamie Noble and Triple H had to talk Vince out of firing him. And what? It was a big PR from WWE, decried as a drastic overreaction to shelf Titus from WrestleMania and deny the Fire of the Year a big payday. Thankfully, he and the company were able to kiss and make up. Much like Titus kisses his son. Oh, I swore I wasn't going to mention it. Number 5, fans wrecked the first ever Universal title match. Jam belt, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when the fans all boo? SummerSlam saw the first ever Universal Championship match contested between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, and the match was really good. Not that you'd know it from the way the fans took a loud theatrical dump on it. Why? I'll tell you why, shut up. The Universal title had just been unveiled and the reaction was, well, something like this.
Dang, come on, man.
You serious?
The crowd shouted, "Your belt sucks. Hey, we want a new belt," and many more from Columbia Records.
I didn't see that.
Both tweeted about how the fans' reaction to the belt ruined SummerSlam for them, but fans couldn't hear them over the sound of their own laughter at how that belt was. Number 4, the Cruiserweights mishandled. The Cruiserweight Classic was one of the best things WWE produced in the entirety of 2016. It introduced...
It's like I remember they had it, I think, didn't they have it at one point? Like, I remember in this, like, the old SmackDown versus Raw video games, they had it, like, the Cruiserweight Championship. I think, I remember I seen it for a while, then after that, it just disappeared. And, they didn't, they wasn't just focused. They just figured, oh, we just have it all combined with each other and things. Then I remember before like the separation of like having Raw wrestlers and then SmackDown wrestlers, they was all combining stuff and things. So it was like cruiserweights against heavyweights and super heavyweights, and now they just separated everything. So I guess they're trying to make it like old. They're slowly trying to make it like old WWE and things, but. It's kind of a bumpy year for them, so let's just see. Let's just see.
To a generation of exciting new talent, told some great stories, and showed.
Yeah, I think the Cruiserweight division is pretty good.
Candidates. Then they moved the Cruiserweights to Raw, and whoops, I dropped it, and now it's broken. It's like your mum making you share your 3DS with the kid at your school who wipes his ass with his hand. You just can't.
Nope.
Oh, stop!
Nope.
What are you doing to it? The sudden new faces, it just didn't work with a sudden jump from the intimate Full Sail setting to a giant arena. And though 205 Live could address a storytelling issues because Raw isn't really telling any of their stories, it's still problematic because it's going to be filmed after SmackDown finishes, you know, when the crowd's as tired as they possibly can be. Number 3, the Shane Taker storyline was a hot mess. Trying to work out what the hell happened in the Shane Undertaker storyline.
I just think the only good thing throughout, I mean, it was like, you know, of course they had like the little family rivalries thing and stuff. But, yeah, it's just like, you know, that I didn't really care for. I just think the only good thing was the match. But it was like that. I think this maybe should happen like maybe a few years back when they was like at their prime and stuff. Because I remember what it was like last time we seen Shane was like what, right? At No Way Out 2009. That was the last time I remember seeing him. I don't remember anything after that and stuff. So, but yeah, it's just maybe if this was a few years back when they was like at their prime and they were like a little less older looking. I'm sorry, but it's just like, you know, they're kind of old, so it's just like it's just seeing old men just go at it, I guess. But I mean, it's still good though. It was still a good match. I seen that match. I thought it was pretty good.
It could be done, and the pieces are all there, but it's much more arduous and complicated than it needs to be. Shane turned up, wanted to run Raw because dance, look at my trainers, etc. Vince said no. Shane said lockbox. Vince said okay, but you have to beat The Undertaker in Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania. That all happened in the space of about 20 minutes. Yowza. But why? Why is Taker fighting for Vince? Said the crowd. Taker showed up and said, I'm going to punch Shane in the dick, and then left to water his plants, and everyone went, what? Wait, come back and explain things. Then Shane lost and started running Raw anyway. That's really weird. It was a bit like stapling 5 different newspapers together and calling it a book. And considering that Shane is still an important authority figure to this day, I'm guessing WWE wanted to forget the sloppy storytelling that got him here. Number 2, a spree of suspensions. If 2015 was the year of injuries, and 2016 was the year of suspensions and also injuries. In the space of about 2 months, WWE suspended 4 stars for violating their wellness policy. Each and every one of them claimed they were taking substances legally prescribed by doctors, and that the only thing they did wrong was accidentally misfiling paperwork or not jumping through all the admin loopholes, which is as un-rock and roll as you can get. Those four were Roman Reigns, Paige, Alberto Del Rio, Eva Marie. The same thing happened to Adam Rose earlier in the year, busted because of a technicality rather than actual misdoing. Sure, procedure's important, but there's a huge stigma that comes with violating the wellness policy. I mean, I knew that Roman Reigns...
It was crazy, though, because it's like, they would still, like, show Alberto Del Rio in the WWE 2K17 trailer and things, and so... I was like, I thought, because I remember, like, after they had released him, they still was showing the trailer, and I'm like, well, all right, so was that, like, a storyline, or is he actually gone? Is he coming back? Like, I think that might have been a way to try to bring him back. I was like, oh, yeah, you know, remember when you were recording this? And it's like, nah, bro, I'm doing my own thing.
Done for a prescription drug rather than anything illegal, and I still misremembered it as roids a few months later on a podcast. These infractions highlight a huge malfunction in WWE's wellness policy. And number one, the main event of WrestleMania sucked. Even if nothing else on a WrestleMania card works, the main event has to. It's the final scene of a season finale of WWE's year. It should be the match soaked in the hype of months of anticipation. Batista versus Triple H, Undertaker.
Because I remember I bought that WrestleMania on DVD. I'd never seen a WrestleMania before, so that was like I think that was the only one I had seen and stuff, and was just like, oh, okay, I'll get this, and seeing that match, and I'm like, it was a pretty good match. They need more matches like that.
Michaels, Hogan versus Andre. With the right main event, a lackluster show becomes a classic. At WrestleMania 32, an okay show got flushed down the pan with a main event dud that 90% of fans knew was coming. After numerous attempts at telling Vince, sorry, but we're just not into that big dog you keep bringing to shows, after every possible alternative match was shot down, Roman Reigns versus Triple H happened, and it was so boring. I was there live, and even with the hype of live attendance, it was so boring. Mania 32 broke a number of records for WWE. They prefer you to focus on that, not the fact they had to mute the crowd for the main event of bloody WrestleMania. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Tell us about it.
Yeah.
Like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter here. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and I'll see you soon.
I just think the reason for that match, that last match, is because you know, they just figured, you know, they ain't gonna do it on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or any other pay-per-view and things. It should have probably been like a SummerSlam pay-per-view, like something like that, or maybe like any other like somewhat major pay-per-views. But yeah, it was just WrestleMania. I don't know. Like when I was watching the match, I was just like, I guess it's okay and things. You know, I was just like, I didn't have any problems with it. Like me, as long as I'm watching WrestleMania, that's all that matters. But, yeah, I thought the match was okay. I mean, I know there's going to probably be people saying, oh, that match was it was boring, it was terrible and things. I'm like, listen, I see everything as, you know, good or whatever. I mean, whatever. It's just, but I was just like, when I got that WrestleMania, I was like, okay, I wanted this. I've been waiting for this. I don't care what matches. I just want to watch WrestleMania. You know, it's just, I don't watch WrestleMania that much, but when I do, I see every match as a good match and things. So I'm not gonna say the match was. I'm gonna say how does Steam be rating their games? They got like overwhelmingly negative, then very negative, then mostly negative, and then negative, and then mixed, and then mostly. I'm gonna say mostly positive. I'm gonna say that match. It was mostly, in my eyes, it was mostly positive and stuff. So. But anyways, yeah, I guess it's good. Looking, I guess it's not good. I guess these are things that they want you to forget about wrestling. Me, I would say maybe just like the family rivalries, like just that they had going down in here and stuff, and so on, you know. But yeah, I would like, you know, maybe 2017 I have a change of heart and things. Maybe 2017 wouldn't be so hectic and crazy, but who knows? Like, you know, it's going to be a new year, so we won't know until it's like towards the end of the year. Was it a good year or was it not and things? But anyways, thank you for watching. Make sure you go subscribe to What Culture Wrestling for more videos like this one. And that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And if you are new, please like and subscribe. And peace.